Om. Namaste, everyone.
नानाचिद्रगडोदरस्थितमः दीपप्रभवस्वरम् ज्ञानम् यस्य तु चक्षुरतिकर्णध्वर बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तम् अनुभात् एतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. I bow down to that Dakshinamurti, the Guru, who, as consciousness itself, shines through the holes in the pot. If I take a pot and put 5 holes and put a lamp inside, the light travels through the 5 holes. Like that, from this body through the 5 senses, that consciousness goes out. To that consciousness, Guru, I bow down.
Anyone has any question? Hello, Wayne, Monda.
Hi, Sanjay.
Hello,
Hi,
Namaskar.
Sanjay. Thank you for having me. A
Thank
bit
you.
nervous as always. I just wanted to talk about some experiences I think that I had, and if you could probably shed some light on where they're going and stuff like that. So I spoke about a little while ago about like a childlike nature, like when you haven't seen your grandma for a while or something like that, and that sort of kindness, honest love sort of that you show towards your grandma when you haven't seen her for a while. That sort of is always there. I wrote them down a bit. I'm always like very quiet and stuff, so it's pretty unusual that I talk a bit now. So I've been told like I never talked, so and I'm a spray painter by trade, and I'm always on my own all the time, pretty much, when I'm in the spray booth and stuff. And I've noticed some things in meditation, like settled right down, seeing things like, just for instance, the planets like the sun, event horizons from a black hole and stuff like that. But that's not really where I'm going with it. It's something behind that. As I'm noticing that there's something behind that's I'm sensing behind that, if that makes any sense. Just some just strange things like that, and feeling like sometimes it's like a oneness, that it does feel like a oneness type thing, and all these are starting to be more and more, and it all started from about probably a year ago. I sat down and really put my hands together and thought really hard and asked with every bit of my heart for knowledge, and now it's flowing, and that's how come I guess I've come and sit in front at Satsang, and you could shed some light on it for me, please, Sanjay.
Mhm. Look, oneness, what you are talking about, and if I have understood rightly, you are seeing things, but in background you are seeing from some different place.
There's something that I sense that's like watching, that I've seen this, to say I'm looking in a vision of a sun from, say, a distance of about Mercury or event horizon, sitting there watching that and going, okay, that's, and then there's something behind, or sensing something else that's watching, that I'm seeing all of this arise. That sort of makes sense.
Yeah, look, I think what you are saying is a lot of people would agree. There is a seeing and there is a seeing. There is a seeing, everyone is seeing everything around, thinking I'm this body and there is a scene in front of me, objects, things, situation, and I'm watching it, and I can comment on it, and I can like or dislike it or whatever. But that is also seeing, but that seeing encompasses everything, including this body. It is like we were too much in front of that energy, and somehow this too much in front is still in front, but somehow we are perceiving that energy which is behind all this.
That's what it felt like then.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It is not an experience, it is you.
As I notice it more and more now, it's like everything since that first, say, when I noticed it, it's more and more that I'm starting to be aware of what's happening.
I can tell you something happened many years ago when this new energy, you don't know what it is, and that's why the question arises and you want to confirm with someone. When it happened to me, I had no one to confirm except Google, and Google didn't help me much. There's not much to explain things, but I can say exactly something similar happened with me. I was in group with some friends, and in a golf course, and something happened which someone said about that, and which was completely wrong, and like about something to do with the shot or whatever, but I wanted to say something, nothing came out, and it was like the bliss was so much that whatever someone says, it doesn't matter. And I was watching from that awareness, and I also knew the personality of this body, that it has to say something for in this situation, when something is said which is not right, and and some energy was there which was just keeping complete silence, and that silence was so beautiful that something was ashamed even to say something in that silence. So nothing came, and after that I was sort of wondering that who is beautifully controlling this stupid person in such a beautiful way, and in a situation like that where an argument can broke or whatever, and I only just tears started flowing, and I thought, you know, I surrender completely whatever this personality to this thing, you know, which has taken over, or which is taking over, or which is coming into, you know, in existence, which was not there before. How it was coming and keeping so much of bliss, irrespective whatever the external situations are, and still we sense it. You know, we have body, we have feelings, all this is there, so you sense that something has taken over, you know, but what it is, it stays mystery. Even you can say I am that I am, but I am what I am, how to explain? Nobody knows what it is, you know.
Something, it's not like you can see or
No.
know. It's sort of right there, but
it's there, but here, you know, it's something like only you can, you know, it is something is there, some change has come, some profound change has come, and the biggest way you can be assured that it is not mind's trick is that you feel very peaceful, you know, you feel peaceful about it. There's nothing else I would say about it. It's very peaceful. They say bliss, and in Hindi they say ananda, but I don't know, that doesn't look like one has to keep jumping, or then happiness, people take it otherwise. I would say the best word is peace. It is very peaceful, and it is something which percolates in our all actions and all dealings, and even in when nothing is happening, and it is something fullness. It is like we try to fill our life with some achievements or some activity or some objects, but it seems that when it comes to you, you are whole, you are complete, you are full. Some religions, some teachings talk about emptiness or void. I don't know, it is fullness, I would say. It is so it is energy, it is awareness, it is, and how can it be void? Because everything is in it only. Everything, whatever you perceive, it's all in that. Everything is made up of that. It is so full. It is like you are touching that current of awareness. Somehow, I would say it is current of awareness which is perceiving everything. It is the real perceiver. Mind is not the real perceiver. Mind is a perceiver with conditioning and a limited perceiver. That is why how much you train your mind, it always knows others. It can grow in its own way. Like it might say a single person is more selfish, then you have a partner, you think about partner, then you think about kids. Some people think about their community, their religious group, or some think about their nation, or some think about the whole world. But still there is this sense of belonging of some, and then there some are other. But this is whole. This energy does not leave anything outside of it. Whether you call it living, non-living, plant, animal, bird, house, you treat everything with dignity. You can say that something looks dead. Something looks dead. Maybe that something doesn't perceive that awareness. But awareness can perceive awareness which is everywhere. And so when awareness perceives awareness everywhere, it respects everything which is awareness, because nothing is smaller or bigger or less important or more important. Then everything is equally same in that awareness. Everything is made up of the same gold. Shapes are different, How does it matter? I would only suggest you that there is no need to analyze how this energy unfolds and how this awareness has coming into it. Just keep moving inward as you usually do everything, and this awareness will never leave, because it cannot leave. It does not come and go. Yes, sometimes when we become too much into the lower energy, we lose the perception of it in a very intense emotional state, or some argument or something which we strongly like or dislike. So this we have to take care about this energy. This is very, I would say, we have to handle with utmost care this thing. You can't be rough about it, because it's not something you have achieved and now you can do something stupid, and that attention is very important. Attention to that is very important. You can even look into some of the teachings of Buddha even, Buddha after enlightenment, when he walked, he was very cautious about that, this energy, he is aware of it, aware of that awareness all the time. There are instances I read that, once there was some fly on his hand and he just moved it away, and then he realized that it was like a reflex. So he did it again, though there was no fly. He said, I have to live in that awareness always, So someone can say it is too much, but it only shows how much importance he was giving to it.
I've noticed some strange things like that as well. Nearly pretty much down to the last word, mosquito, for instance, or a bug or something like that. And it feels like instant reaction is and then it's sort of like you reanalyze what you've just done. You pretty much word for word what you just said, Sanjay. Very, very interesting, that's for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. So good to hear from you, Wayne.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, thank you. Once the mind have darshan, have vision of this energy, it loses its voice, its speech. Then it becomes voice of that only. Whatever has to come from that only. If nothing has to come, nothing has to come. Nothing has to happen, nothing has to happen. No personal anxiety to do something or not to do something. And I have to say, some people might think that someone in realized being becomes stupid. No. He becomes very impartial. I was talking to someone who said, I always feel love for everyone and I want to give everything to everyone, and I don't leave anything for me. And I said, if you still have me and others, and it is a lot of attachment. Why you are treating your body as very, treating it not that equally as other body, Do 50-50, give 50 to others, 50 to this body. Have balance. And then he cried and he understood, because it is just, some people are very emotional and giving, That doesn't mean that you are a realized being. You are a very emotional person, and maybe you are a very giving person and you are a nice person, but you are actually in a lot of bondage of your own emotions and attachments. So the balance is to just be in that, and where you realize that everything is just me, nothing else. This body is also you. You don't have to shame this body. If you say, I am not the body, that means what do you do with this body? Do you treat this body badly? and if you know that all the bodies are you, then also you treat this body nicely, isn't it? Because this body you are utilizing to interact, to speak out, and to communicate, Why would you treat anything badly? Nothing. I sometimes feel it is just right understanding of everything. It somehow something balances us in that. And that awareness which is always there, even when we don't know it is there. There are some things which are very important to be in that. One of them, I believe, is having some free time. Some people are always busy doing this, that. They try to find work all the time. Spend some time not doing anything and then watch it. Because if we are busy all the time in things, our attention will never be here. And secondly, if you have so many things to do, your mind is always super active in sorting out things. It never comes to rest. And this is known when the mind is in complete stillness, or the mind is no mind, when there is no thought. When the mind, which is putting attention in things outside, external world, is now putting attention inwardly in this awareness. Especially when we are new seekers, trying to establish, it's good to have some time with your own self, in which you can pay attention here. When we sit in early days, there are a lot of thoughts, a lot of things which we have no knowledge. Sometimes people wonder, how come I am getting these types of crazy thoughts, More our thoughts leave, less this word troubles us. Word is insentient, jada. It has no power to disturb us. And the highest teaching is actually this word is coming from our own mind. It is not separate to us. I can give a lot of examples like the way we think and those things comes in our life. A lot of people can say about that. An intention comes, a thought comes, an apprehension comes, and then that things is manifesting in front of you. Things are happening in some way. All the happenings which are happening with our strong intentions, good or bad, they are both create bondage, because there is a inherent liking or disliking for them. But if our attention is on that energy, that awareness, then we have nothing in this world which is we are attracted towards or we are averse. So if they come, they go, it doesn't affect us. Perhaps maybe you wanted something, now it is coming in the scene, it was in the queue of your wishes. Maybe it was the 20th wish, now it is coming in front, but now you are disinterested. So it comes or goes, who cares? This is such a beautiful state. Actually, it is a beautiful state of mind, for which people take drugs and see psychologists and do all sorts of mindfulness and all types of meditation. But the best practice is to be with that awareness which has no mind, which has no intellect, which does not tease out things and divide them and classify them and categorize them and analyze them and discriminate them. It is just whole. When we start living in this whole, from that wholeness, then we become one with everything. Because it works without mind, without discrimination. Be in this pure energy of awareness, as awareness, because you as a person can never know it. No one is able to know it. In common usage, people say he got realization. He or she cannot get realization. He or she vanishes, and then that what is to be realized is already there. It is Sat. Nobody is producing it. You're only discovering it. The truth of the matter is that each and every being has to put their own efforts to discover it. It would be so good if one person discovers and tells everyone and everyone understands and just gone. Yes, it happens something like that, but still you have to agree for it. And all satsang, discussion, contemplation is you agree. Who are you? You, that mind which is always in disagreement with the harmony of that awareness, creating its own something, cooking its own stuff, and then getting worried or we just have to recede. We have to move, as Wayne was saying from his experience. It is that perceiver which is very neutral. Not very, it is neutral, it is impartial. It doesn't know what else is happening. And when we perceive from that awareness as awareness, then there is no function of mind left. You can say mind merges in that, or there is no mind, or there is mind but it does not disturb us. You can say whatever. All these becomes a concept which is not helping us at all. Main thing is you give complete rest to your mind. Then you will have vision of that. In families, people call and they discuss about this person did this to me and he did this to me and he says this and who disturbs us most? Closest people, our partner, our family, our immediate relatives, our close friends. Not someone stranger living in some other country calls you. What are thoughts made up of? Mostly as people grow old, their thoughts are with kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. They have more people to worry now. Give complete rest to the mind in all situations and see this energy will come, unfold. when you start witnessing things from the vision of God, then everything you find is so nice, so beautiful. And everything is perfect in its own way. Only mind sees deficiencies within us and in others. Because of its conditioning, it has been told that this is the way a person should look. This is the problem, if you see fashion models, they look cachectic as they might be starving to death. And then everyone wants to be like that, and people who are really good, healthy, they want to be like that. This is only our own perception. Some people have perception that I should have X amount of money, then I'll be happy, or this thing and then it will be good. Who tells us? Our mind only. Who listens to mind? Ego. What is ego? Just this I thought who has taken this, occupied this body and said I am. It's nothing but a thought, nothing else. Body belongs to awareness, as everything belongs to awareness. We are not two, that one is ego and other is God or some awareness or Atman. It is how we perceive ourselves, from where we interact in this world, Hello, Steve.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, and I can also hear some wind blowing around you.
Yeah, it's kind of windy. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here. One thing I appreciate about our meetings is they're so inviting as to questions. Like that's the last thing the teacher wants to hear is questions. So I really appreciate that. And sometimes I'm surprised that there's not more of them, which makes me wonder, if you're a fireman, you get the alert, you go to the fire, you put out the fire, then you smoke a cigar. You don't smoke a cigar first. You do the most urgent thing first. So when thinking about, there's no end to the questions that the mind has, but for the vital, most important, urgent ones, I was going to ask you, what do you think is a helpful process in sort of sorting them out and asking them? And I would think, just my own experience and being here on the meetings, is that the most important thing is not about the Kundalini or past lives and stuff like that, but whatever it takes to remove any doubts. In other words, for a person to be convinced, convicted, and you talk about this quite a bit, which I suppose your answer will be something along those lines. But to me, the most important thing is saying, yes, I'm making the final decision. I'm sold out. May not make it immediately, but this is what my life will be. It won't be making money or something like that. It'll be whatever you want to call this. This thing we're doing here. Getting to that point, somebody said everything yields to earnestness, including all these questions. And I'm sure some people who are on the call can relate that you have all these questions, but then after you go to a certain point, either the questions are answered automatically or they just go away. They're no longer important. So what do you think would be a wise, without getting too linear and empirical, but just sort of in a general way, of when we're on the calls, listening and thinking and trying to get this, what's a good way of sorting through, like, that's a question that is really important, because again, the mind can say, this is important. It's not, this was not important. And, the mind has a mind of its own, and I'm trying we're all trying not to trust it. So have any guidance along those lines?
Look, it is only mind which gives importance to certain things and situations. I would say nothing is important. Nothing is important. So whatever the task in front, if you stay in this impartial, neutral awareness, you will be doing it. You will be doing the most important, which actually is most important, not what your mind says is most important. I can give you an example. Let's say tomorrow friends have organized a nice trip to somewhere, and I have a long list of patients to be seen tomorrow. And the mind will say, oh, it is they are giving a party and they are all going to a resort and I should join them. And so easy, call a friend, get a GP referral, sick leave, and then go to that party and hell with my patients and enjoy the life. And this is most important because this party doesn't come that regularly, while the patients I see 5 times a week. So what do you say? What is important? Ego thinks this is my life. I deserve it because I work so hard. And and for awareness, it's not the duty which is important, but because it was already happening, and I am not sick. So why I have to take a sick role when I am not sick? Perhaps maybe I can ask my colleague if he can see my patients and tell him the truth. Look, my friends have invited me and can I go? But that doesn't happen because no one will see your patients if you tell them the truth that I am going to a party and you have to see my patients. And at the last moment, nobody can do it. Practically it's not possible. So either you miss that or you lie and then do it. So who decides? Awareness is not that you have to be on your duty or nothing like that, but it thinks it's a huge effort to produce a sick certificate and give it, though it is so easy. Anyone can give you, everyone. Anyone can oblige you with that. But importance is, what is important? Nothing is important. The work is also not important, but it is happening. For this I have to put an effort to lie and to cheat and do all sorts of things. Not that someone becomes hardworking, maybe I would say less hardworking. My drive is zero. I have to tell you honestly, I'm telling you from my heart. Previously I wanted to do this and this in the department and show off, and I can do this. Now they ask me and I do only what is being asked. My journey is from car park to see and leave and not meet anyone for any reason, for anything. Good or bad, nothing. Like a ghost. There is no time for anything except just staying. But I don't know, importance, mind gives importance to things, that this is so important, why you missed it. You miss everything, but still you are not missing anything. And when you, in awareness, you realize how a beggar can enjoy, how a person in forest can enjoy, how a person alone in a cave can enjoy. What are they making? What important thing are they doing there? Nothing. Nothing is happening there. No one to show anything. You can say here, people can say I am enlightened or talk stupid and show some magic or something and gather some attention, but there, what are they getting? Nothing. They are in their blissful self without anything. What is important? If you ask me, I will say nothing is important. But what is important will be done in the correct way. You will not jump the queue for any reason, because nothing is attractive. Why should I do that? And what will give me more bliss than what I am experiencing? Nothing in this world. So this vairagya or dispassion comes automatic because you have everything what you want. At the same time, I would say, let's say whatever your job, you are a technical person, you have to learn a skill. You will still learn a skill to do that job. It's just part of that job. It's not that I know the true knowledge and this is a relative knowledge, so I'll not do it. There's no one who will say yes or no. Or there's some power is deciding for all of us, but we don't listen to that. Because to listen to that power, you have to silence these thoughts which take precedence. They just take over. They don't even allow the time to settle. They are so impatient. They want to take decision on your behalf all the time. But when you keep paying attention to the awareness, you stay. This mind which is super active might still be there for a while, and you will notice how tricky, how it gives excuses to do all the things which are only selfishness, how it makes you feel, no, it's right. It might give an example of someone who is more selfish than you, or giving an instant that's okay, everyone does it. 1 million people take sick leave on a long weekend in Australia, which is okay. It can say anything like that. But the reality of the truth is that you don't want to even move your finger because there's no need. Somehow the awareness has experienced itself in such a beautiful way that anything impartial is its true nature, and any partiality to anything, anywhere, it cannot do. It has no energy to do it. Because we need to understand, whenever we do anything like that, we do it because we think we gain something from it. But I'll tell you, we lose peace in it. I don't know what we gain, but we lose a lot of peace. And that peace is the utmost important thing in awareness, that peace. Whatever happens, peace should not go. If someone cheats and takes away money and you try to get, and he says F word to you or whatever, and threats you, you just leave it. You don't want to be in any type of cheap entanglement. You just leave it. You move on. You have zero interest, in these things. Because what you have found, you cannot compare with anything in this world. If you read any Upanishad starts only with materialistic things. They say very, very clearly that you can get all the wealth in the world, but that will not bring you happiness. Perhaps it's the other way around, Then you're trying to protect that wealth, and you have to invest. And then you see so many people who are after your wealth. They will give you all sorts of advice, so they can also become a little bit richer. Beggar is in full bliss. Nobody comes to a beggar. I would say you can check on YouTube some of the Yogi Ram Surat Kumar's videos. He was a beggar in Tirunamalai. He's begging on the streets, sitting on the side of the road in his bliss. Nobody, only quite late in his life, people start noticing him. And then, an ashram came around him. But most of his life, he was just enjoying his beggarship. People who are after things, I would say, I don't know how many people know him, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, but I think everyone has heard Buddha. A Buddha-like king can leave everything and can move out, and then he is always happy. Then even at intellectual level we can understand whatever we are chasing, what benefit it will give, how rich you can become. Can you be as rich as Buddha and then you want to leave? Are we foolish? If he has left 2500 years ago, and that proves that these things doesn't give any happiness, then why would we chase them? Even for Bhagavan, if he already was realized, he would have stayed at his home, he was studying, he would have passed, if not in first attempt, in many attempts, but he would have got a job and a house. Why he was in that Kopina, in a cave and living among all sorts of animals there and all sorts of insects and whatever discomfort? Why? There's nothing which can give you that happiness. Again, happiness is a very tricky word. I don't want to use it because happiness, I don't know, people think that in bliss you will be jumping. People, I don't know, I've never met Jesus, but I've heard that Jesus never smiled. So you can see that, that energy can be serious also. Being in it, wherever we are, it appears that our journey has stopped. There is no more search, no more after anything. But momentum of previous intentions and desires, the life continues, in this body for a while. And then all actions become disinterested. Disinterested doesn't mean you dislike. Disinterested means that if it happens, it's good. If it doesn't happen, it's also good. Anyone else wants to share or speak? Yes, Robert, how are you?
Thank you, Sanjay. I'm very well. Thank you. You and Bhagavan have been a true revelation for me, and I'll use the word "me" for the moment. So, past intentions. This is a perfect time to ask this question to you. So, my past intentions was to improve nature, improve bees, beekeeping and beehives in this area of France. And so we've collectively around us come together to plant trees, to do things that help the bees. In the past few years, there's a predator called the Asian hornet, which has been introduced accidentally and has now taken over. So it involves killing hornets in order to reduce their population because they have no natural predator. So until I reached Bhagavan and you, my Catholic education was do good, look at nature as God, improve nature. But now I am willing to throw this project away if it means going into awareness. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want this project to be keeping me away from getting into awareness. I'm willing to do anything. I just don't know. So when I killed a hornet this morning, I literally thought, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I hope everyone, it isn't the specific case of a hornet. It's the point of past baggage. 50 people around here know that we're involved in these beekeeping activities and having a natural enemy that we're going after. So I don't want to spin out of control with all these questions.
So what is your question to me?
Should we continue to kill hornets?
Look, I am not killing. I don't know about others. So, look, you didn't bring hornets, and who has given you this charge to preserve bees and kill hornets? I believe they are equally important. I don't know what hornets are doing except killing bees. I don't know much about them. What harm they are doing, I have no clue about these things.
They're destroying bee colonies.
Yeah, but look, maybe it's the time for bees to go, who knows? Maybe it was bees' time, like different countries occupy other countries and then they get destroyed and then someone else. Life continues, they have their own kingdom, these bees and hornets, I would say leave that power to decide who will win, who will occupy and who thrives, There is some power looking after bees and hornets both. Who are we to decide, You just abide in your awareness, and whatever little or more you can do, whatever this project is, you can do that, I can give you my example where I live here in Australia. We had a problem with rabbits. There were a lot of rabbits and people were complaining. They were digging in their backyards, front yards, and destroying crops and veggie gardens. And so there is a body corporate. The body corporate said, what should we do? Should we do culling, or should we use a trap to catch them, or should we leave them? So I don't know how many families are there, few hundred I believe in our community here, and I said just leave them. But then the collective decision was to do culling, kill them, and they put some bait and they killed all those rabbits. What do you think I should have done? I should have gone into the court and taken a stay, or who knows what is right, what is wrong, why things happen. So many things are happening. If you become a reformer, if you become an activist, then there's no end to anything. And we don't know the whole picture. We just see that this moment, in this moment, this thing we need to keep. This all our mind can keep us busy in so many things which it is projecting in front of us. And we can, and again, that is what I was saying to Steve, that mind gives importance to this. I don't even know this concept about bees and hornets. It is very important for you and I respect that, but I have no clue. So in your mind it is important. In my community where I was living, rabbits were important. I had no clue. I used to love seeing them, and they are digging. I never mind. It never created any problem to me that they were digging and they were creating issues. It's just nature.
Actually, it's not that bees or hornets are important. It's the old baggage, right? And I was willing to hang on to the old baggage until we had this discussion. And now I'm willing to throw it out when we get off this call.
Yes.
I'll throw it
Even
out
now, you just throw it now while we are
Yeah.
here.
while we're discussing.
Ah,
It-
yeah.
it- so yeah, so and it really was to try to understand the importance of. I have to tell you something. A Catholic education is really hard to get rid of. It really is. I mean, we have this overwhelming push to do good, and God, it's crazy. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, because we are all sitting here and it is all about truth, I have to tell you a truth. I'm not making, I've heard and I've read. So Bhagavan, the embodiment of self-realized being. Once there was something around his bed or something, and there were ants or something, and he wiped off with a cloth or something, and one of the devotees who was close was shocked. He said, Bhagavan, you have killed these little ants and something, or maybe termites, something like that. I don't remember what sort of that insect was. And Bhagavan said, sometimes things have to be done to preserve, to save, to keep. It's just natural. And who knows, Bhagavan's wiping of them off has given them moksha, So it is the same in you, me, and everything. It is all about our intention, how we take things. Hello, Satish. How are you?
Thank you, Sanjay. I'm fine. How are you?
Very good, very good. Good to see you.
I think the context is I read recently that it was a colony of ants which come into the hall and he instructed Annamalai Swami to kill it. And I think Annamalai Swami was hesitating. So he said, I'm saying it to you because the devotees are going to come into the hall. You go ahead and kill it. And I think Annamalai Swami was not able to. And then I think Bhagavan said, Krishna said to Arjuna, I am telling, I'm already killed them. So he said that. I think then Annamalai Swami went ahead and then killed all the colonies of ants. So I think that is what you were trying to say, I think.
Yeah, okay. Look, the reason I'm saying this is not to bring Bhagwan to a lower level. No. He is that, he is. But just to clarify, to clear the doubt in people's mind that, this will not make you short of your enlightenment if an ant is being killed through you for whatever reason.
Just one comment I would like to make for Robert, who said about the Catholic. I've not brought up in Catholic, so I can't comment much. But one thing I can say is, I watched a movie about Passion of Christ recently, and I was just amazed how much a godly being has gone through such a physical torture, and to forgive them and to forgive at every moment of that torture, saying that, Lord, forgive them, they don't know what they are doing. So I think that itself we can take from the Christianity to forgive ourselves and forgive everyone.
Very true. And I think I would say, thank you, Satish, thank you. I would say that forgiveness comes in picture only when we take it to heart, when we don't take anything to heart, then all is okay. When there is ego, then we feel that I am feeling bad and then I have to forgive. But if everything is from me, everything is from us, who will forgive whom? So ego can forgive, I would say. Ego can forgive. But there is some power which never forgives. Everyone has to pay for their sins. So Jesus can say, I forgive. He forgive. But that power which takes always everything into the right perspective, everyone has to pay to what they are doing in the world. So we should also remember that. That is very, very important. Hello, Meena.
Hello, Sanjay. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Is it not so that nothing is predictable as long as we are full of concepts? This is good, or this is bad, or this should be like this or like that. We are caught up in this. But I think you cannot know how you react. I remember there is a story from Nisargadatta. They asked him, what would you do if some bad people come into your room and they attack you? Would you fight with them? And he said to them, I don't know what I would do, because I think it's only in the moment when it is done. So
Very,
nothing is predictable.
yeah, but I have to add one thing. A conditioned mind is very predictable. I'll tell you,
Yes.
people talk like this, when the boss, you want a salary rise, you check the mood of the boss, then someone says, today his mood is good. Maybe you can talk to him, he might do a salary rise for you. And some people we know so well that if you do this thing, they will get angry. So if you want to make them angry, do that thing. So that is what I'm saying. Human mind is so predictable.
Yeah.
The people we live close together or we work together, we know their habits and how we know their. Some people even say, don't push my buttons. What are these buttons? They say, don't push my buttons. So the one to whom they are saying knows what the buttons are. So much of predictability is there in the mind.
Yeah.
People living in mind. Only thing which is unpredictable is the one who is living in awareness. You never know.
Yeah.
What, because he also doesn't know, and he surrenders to that awareness how it will do. Bhagavan would have done the other way, and that would have been right. That before devotees came in, he might have asked Annamalai to just move these slowly outside, so there is a space for the devotees to come and ants can go out, But so what is right, what is wrong? It is the mind which actually conditions us, and then we behave like that. We behave more like conditioned person rather than free. There is no freedom in it. Freedom is this: when the moment comes, we will decide. But no, mind decides what I have to eat in breakfast, then lunch, then dinner, and then what tomorrow, and then whom to invite on the weekend, and the whole calendar is booked. And then what I have to do next year holiday, and then next year, and 5 years I have to retire, and then I'll go on cruise. And people plan so much, and then one day they are dead.
Yeah.
So all the planning is left, and because of so much of planning, they are always anxious, stressed, collecting money to do all those things. I have come across hundreds of these things in my life, dealing with people. They say, oh doc, you diagnosed this disease, now I will die in 6 months or 1 year. I had planned so many things in my life to do, and I was saving money to do these things. How would I do now? I said, do it tomorrow, just finish off all your money and do it. Don't wait. What can you do? People plan so much. Plan holidays, plan. I'm not against planning, but then you are so attached to all that planning. If it doesn't happen, you feel so bad. So they are predictable. that if these things will not happen, they will feel bad. Some people are so predictable. In my clinic, one of the time I went and I asked one of the staff that, why you keep all the air cons on in morning? I don't think it is that cold, but she said, no, some doctors want the room should be at this level before they enter, and things should be here. And this is so much of conditioning, you know. So everyone is so conditioned that people know they are so predictable. Only Nisargadatta can be unpredictable. Our mind loves stereotypy. It wants that if someone from realized being is giving an answer, the answer should always be the same. The answer can change all the time, depends on whom the answer is and what that energy is, you know. So unpredictability is beautiful actually. Then you are always fresh in this moment. Sampada, you want to say something?
Hi, Sanjay.
Hello, Sampada.
Sorry, Namaskar. Little off the track, but I have always noticed that one day of very good, peaceful meditation brings a lot of turmoil in the mind. Next couple of days, is it normal? Because one day I'm very much connected to myself, peaceful, calm, and the next day the mind is going like it is all bringing that chitta vrittis up. And the awareness is, I'm watching it through the awareness, but I cannot stop it. And that sometimes just exhausts me, thinking that I'm far away from where I want to be. And what is this happening? It's just constant.
Yeah, let it be.
Just witnessing it is still exhausting. Is it normal?
Look, I don't want to call it anything normal or abnormal, but if the mind is giving, why now you are complaining? Who are you to complain? Who are you? Where are you watching these things from? Mind can never disturb awareness. Mind has no power to disturb awareness. Awareness has no interest in any of the thoughts. Whether they come, they go, they stay, whatever they are. When your identification is gone away with the mind-body complex, then what the mind-body does, who cares? Tell me, why do you feel bad if your kid does something wrong? Because you are attached to the kid. That's your children, your child, you know. But
it is very difficult to convince yourself that you are not this body unless you really, really experience that you are not this body. Just by convincing your mind that you are not this. Don't be attached. Does it really work that way?
You can't convince mind. Who is saying to convince mind? There's nothing to convince mind. Let it be what it is. You stay as what you are. Now the mind is showing its tandav, it's all drama in front of you, all the thoughts. Let it be. Badly and sadly, whatever it will, how long it will continue, it will. Look, understand that whatever the mind is showing, we have given that energy, that intention at some stage. Now it has to come out, let it be, let it be. When you dig deep, before the water comes, there is a lot of soil, mud, it comes out, you just keep digging, keep staying in awareness. This is titiksha, this is your own perseverance, you know, forbearance. You stay there, you just see, you know. Everyone goes through it, everyone. And depends how much garbage we have collected, that much we have to see, you know, it will come through. But if you are unattached, then nothing will happen. Let it be. Let it be. The one who gets scared and who gets really bothered by it is only the one who believes it is me, It is coming from me. That identity is there. That means there is some identity is there. Stay, move, recede, see from where there is no identity. If there is no identity, then that's okay. Let those thoughts come and go. If you give up your identity with this mind, these thoughts, they will not disturb you. And sooner or later, nothing will be left. How long it will continue if you are not putting any fuel of your own intention into it? They will disappear. They are going through old momentum if you are not feeding anymore now with any type of intention. And you should enjoy, you should say, look, 2 days it gave me very good experience, it was. So, and it is also in a way, because the day when the mind is not giving any trouble, you or anyone can think I am enlightened, I am enlightened. The ego can take that pride, and then when it comes, then oh no, still there is a lot more is coming. In a way, it helps us to also distance us from it, in a way. I think it's all good. Don't worry. It will all settle. Nothing to worry. Don't say normal or abnormal. It is the process. You are going through the process, and if you stay on the process, one day you will win the battle. Bhagavan says that till there is last thought whom you are questioning, because the problem is that you think it's coming to you, and then it comes to the self-inquiry of Bhagavan, that whom these thoughts are coming to me, and who am I? Then this who am I has to be asked. If you are so much concerned about these thoughts, then in this whole process of unfoldment, you are where you have to still be very deep in self-inquiry, asking who am I? Once you get into this silent awareness by this deep questioning, and then the thought comes, then it is very easy to handle, because there is no interaction happening at personal level with any thought. They're coming and they're going, and they become like distant noises. Does not affect you at all. You are getting bullied because you want to get bullied. You are prone to get because of this connection with them. If there is no connection, then how does it matter, That is why they say you should keep reminding that I am not the mind. I am not these thoughts. And then these thoughts are not for me. They are not for me. They are, if you are not that, they are not for you, then what is the connection left? Even when these thoughts are going on, there is this silence which is always there. And this silence is you. And in your silence, these thoughts are coming. Let them come. They are harmless. Rather than saying, I am not the mind, best is to say,
Just watch them.
I don't want you to use this word watch. You're not paranoid, you're just watching thought. When is the next coming? Okay, I'll watch this now. You will get mad, who cares? Whatever it is, let it be. You don't have to watch. You're not a watchman. You just stay. That's just neutral. not responding to them, nothing. And don't try to stop. You can't stop. Nobody can stop. Who are you to stop? The one who is trying to stop is also the I thought only. There means if you are getting affected, there is some connection, definitely. Otherwise, how would you feel bad, Some people say, oh, I don't get affected, I have no relationship with this person, and they keep talking about that person all the time, It shows there is a relationship, Otherwise, they cannot affect you.
It's like I'm trying to find a peace through them, but they are so continuous that it's like a mind is on a spin, a continuous spin. And like I do a Manas Puja, and when I do a Manas Puja, sometimes it is so much on spin that I notice that my hand is going in the same circle, faster and faster and faster. It is so much in spin that
that's okay. Let it be in circle. You are on a roller coaster ride. Let it be.
yeah,
it will stop.
Kind of.
It will stop. It will stop. Don't worry. Don't worry. But don't feed to it. Don't give fuel to the fire by your own intentions now. So people are worried about this, but then they are feeding into their desires and attachments and all. You have to work there also. It's not just working on thoughts, but not adding on to things. That is very, very important. Meenaji, do you want to ask anything?
Sanjay, I remembered something I read. There was, why do you say that these are your thoughts? If you hear the ringing of the bell, does it mean that this is your bell?
Very true. Yeah. Maybe this is a very good example. Yes. Yeah. Just take them as a distant noise. Yeah. Don't own. Why ownership of this garbage? Just say, I don't know whose is this. Why it is coming to me. Just leave it. I'll tell you, thoughts only disturb when you get disturbed. Otherwise, they will not. And I'll tell you, if you stop all these holes in your life from where the energy is going outward, you conserve it. You conserve. And the most important area from where this all energy goes is your sensory organs. Watching things, doing things, attracted to this. Watch like you are making a video, video camera. Video camera is not interpreting. Whatever it is just. But maybe there might be AI now, AI video cameras. They might be interpreting things, My God, I think best to get out of this mind before it becomes more difficult, So much of artificial stuff going on. I feel then people who have to be free, they have to go to a place which is completely remote, no internet connection, nothing. No intrusion of any technology. Just living in nature, just on your own. And I'm pretty sure more these things will come. There will be rush in Himalayas, no caves will be left. A lot of people would like to just go there. Anyway, I think we should end now. It's already beautiful. Thank you so much for everyone to be there and bear with a bit longer today. And Om Namo Arunachala Ramana. Namo Ramana. Thank you.